The big boys don't show up. The flowers wilt.
You're right.
So I don't know what the answer is. It's going to happen again. We're going to go through, and if we're a year from now, we're having the same conversation because nothing changed and they're going to take another run at it, something got to be done.
This is the 10 Minutes with Andrew podcast.
Welcome back to 10 Minutes with Andrew. I'm, of course, Andrew. We're getting joined with Mark Jancy. Welcome back to the show.
Stevie Nicks, digitally remumbled.
Yeah.
That is 1985, Talk to Me. I'm still sweating. I just came in from shoveling 5 to 10 centimeters of snow that, of course, no one knew we were getting.
Yep.
Environment Canada, keep up the good work.
Yeah.
You are probably the worst government organization that we fund.
Yep.
Anyhow, if you don't agree with that, put in the comments which one you think is the worst.
Weather Network.
So.
That's not a government organization, never mind. I said the Weather Network, but that's not a government organization.
That's not a government organization.
You're right.
They just take whatever Environment Canada doesn't say, and they don't say the same things. So, what are we doing today, my son?
Well, we're recapping the NHL Trade Deadline.
Ooh, the madness that was Friday.
It was Friday.
It was a crazy day.
Well, the week, basically, not just Friday. But
okay.
First, we talked about the Leafs last night.
You want to talk about the Leafs? Do you want to talk about the Leafs?
I do want to talk about the Leafs.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about them? Because what I say is not going to be good.
In a second.
Okay.
Well, I'm just going to start. So
you go right ahead and say something.
The Leafs were up 3-2 after the first period. They were up 4-3 after the second period. They lost 7-4. Colorado scored 4 unanswered in the third period. McKinnon had 2 in the third. Nichushkin had a hat trick in the game. Drouin had 1. I don't know who else had the other goals, but I do know that I watched a little bit of the second period, and I want to tell you that Colorado had about 4 minutes of power play, and they did go over 2 on it, but the Leafs did not play particularly well from what I saw. They were chasing a lot. They were outshot, and they lost 7-4 to the Colorado Avalanche.
2 empty net goals.
Yeah, 2 empty net goals.
And before I say anything else, the Leafs should just stop pulling their goalie, because there is no worse team in the league for allowing goals with an empty net. As soon as the Leafs pull their goalie, within 30 seconds, goal. Yeah. Last night they let 2 in and the empty net. But not the point. I've been a Leaf fan since I was this big. This big. That wasn't yesterday. I used to put on my goalie equipment on Saturday nights and watch the game and pretend I was Mike Palmateer making the saves.
Yeah.
I die for this team.
Yeah.
I bleed for this team. If anybody thinks this year is any different than the last 6, 7, 8 years, they're either stupid or they just won't believe reality, because nothing has changed. Now you got all the experts saying, they're just finding ways to win games that they don't usually win. Did they find a way to beat Chicago? Chicago, yep. Did they find a way to beat Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh, yep, they did.
Barely.
Then they had San Jose roll into town.
Oh, my God.
One of the worst teams in the league. One of the worst, right?
Yeah.
2-0 lead going into the third. They blow that in overtime.
Losing the shootout.
So then they head to Vegas. Now they're playing a real team. What happens? Dummied. They were down 5-0 at one point.
Yep.
Then they go into Colorado, a real team. What happened? Dummied. Yeah, they led the game 3-2 at one point. They did not.
At one point.
They did not deserve to lead that at any point.
No.
They were dominated. This is the same crap we see every year. You can add all you want around the edges.
And I think Brandon
You can add
Carlo,
all you want about around the edges. Am I done?
No.
Did I look at you? Did I stop breathing to give you the indication that I was done?
I'm sorry.
You can add all you want around the edges. You still have that cancerous core that is killing this team, and as long as it's there, they will first round and done. See it in April, and then we'll be golfing the week after that without having to get home to watch the Leafs, because it's going to happen again. Now, for a few games this year, most games, they had 2 goalies that were backstopping everything. They both let in 5 the last 2. I don't blame them. They gotta come down a little bit at some point.
Yeah.
They say, they're so much better defensively. They're not. If you look at all the statistics and this one, what is it? Goals above average. I don't even know what they are. These advanced statistics.
Yeah.
They were better under Sheldon Keefe. I'm not blaming Berube.
No, Berube's great. I like Berube.
Berube has a certain type of player. That core 4 is not that type of player.
No.
It is not changing. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm so fed up watching this team, and it's going to happen again. They're probably going to play Florida.
No, I think Tampa.
This is what I meant. Tampa. Florida's now 4 points ahead of them.
Florida shut out the Buffalo Sabres
for the
last
division.
night, and if you can't do that, you got a problem.
Leafs wouldn't do it.
That's true.
Leafs lost to San Jose. This is the time of year you have to put points in the bank.
I agree.
And secure your playoff position. They lose to San Jose. Okay. Next up, they had the Utah hockey team,
Yeah, I was just
which
mentioning
should
that.
be 2 easy points.
Monday night.
Wait and see.
Utah Hockey Club.
Wait and see. Then after that,
11:30 Newfoundland time, late game.
guess who they have in town?
Who?
I'm pretty sure it's Florida.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then who's after that? On Saturday night, the Senators, who are dying to get into the playoffs.
No.
So we'll see what these great Leafs are made of in a week's time. But I don't see anything different. I'm not even getting my hopes up. Apparently, well, I wouldn't want to say it because it's probably something you're going to say later.
Yeah, probably.
Rantanen and Marner?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later.
Okay.
Well, I don't actually have the quotes here because that happened last night after I had everything. But
here's what I'm going to say.
I do have something about Marner.
Let Marner walk to free agency. I don't care if we get nothing for him. Clear the cap space.
I will tell you,
let's get rid of this cancerous core.
Before we get into the deadline moves and everything, I just want to. I do believe it was last night after the game. Mitch Marner was asked about the whole situation. And I don't know the exact quote.
This is going to make me angry.
But he did say something like, I thought something was going to happen or something like that. And he reiterated after that, like, I don't want to talk about it and I want to stay here for my career or whatever. I'm going to try and find that because I know I have it here.
I don't want you here for your career, Mr. Marner. You're a flashy regular season dude. You're useless in the playoffs. You've been useless in the playoffs your whole career. What's going to change this year?
Well, there's two here. Let me just read them quickly. The first one is, I'm here to play hockey with this team. That's what I can tell you. I want to be here. I want to play with this team. Like I told you guys at the start of the year, I'm not going to get into this. I'm here to play hockey. I'm going to let my agent and the team handle that. I'm not going to discuss any contract stuff. I've been very grateful and have loved my time as a Leaf. That's what I'll leave with you guys. We've got 20 games left, and they won't be easy.
No, they're not easy. No, you're not easy.
Mitch Marner also said on being asked to waive his no-move clause, I wasn't focused on it. I had a feeling something might happen. Beyond that, he declined to answer any questions about his contract status or future, sticking to the stance he's had since the start of the season.
No! Anyway, nothing's changing. Get your 100 points now, Mitchie. Then get a couple of points in games 1 and 2 of the playoffs. Then disappear. And we'll have Austin Matthews do nothing because all he can do now is assist on a few. He can't score a goal to save himself.
Okay, but like assists are important.
Yeah, no, they scored goals last night, right? They scored goals last night. Yep. Useless. Anyway, the one thing I am happy about, Bobby McMahon is still a Leaf. I'm allowed to say that, am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, last week was, you're right.
Yeah, last week you were getting rid of them.
And, you won't punch me now.
Get rid of all of them. Get rid of all of them. They're useless.
You won't punch me now.
Useless. Anyway, what?
You won't punch me now because Bobby McMahon's still here.
You're right. Your nose is safe for at least another week. I cannot tell you.
Another week? What are you talking
about? What's
about?
going on in my guts over this team? I don't know how Berube. I can see why he looks so miserable all the time.
Well, he's pissed off last night.
Look down the bench and say, I don't want to put him out because he's useless. He's useless. Okay. Where's Reeves? Oh, we sent him down, did we? Okay. Anyway, that wasn't a bad move either. Let's go. I need to chill.
All right, let's do this. Okay. So we're going to talk about the Leafs moves first, and then we're going to talk about some other moves that happened in the league.
Wonderful. Let's fill in around the edges. Don't touch the core. No. Brad, I know you tried.
Yeah. So the first one, the Leafs and the Bruins made a trade. The Leafs got Brandon Carlo. So Brandon Carlo, defenseman from the Boston Bruins. He was assistant captain there as well. So the Leafs got Brandon Carlo, 15% retained. Not 50, 15. Boston got Fraser Minton, a first-round pick in 2026, top 5 protected, and a fourth-round pick from the Flyers in 2025.
Yeah, Boston, who waved the white flag and got rid of everybody.
Yeah, don't mention the other thing.
I won't, for goodness sake. They just went out and beat Tampa yesterday. So they're not quite done.
Yeah,
they're only, I think, 3 points out of a playoff spot in the East. So, yeah.
I also don't think...
I don't have a problem adding Carlo. Again, we add defensemen every trade deadline. I do like that he has. I do like that he has term.
Yeah,
he's not a rental. He's a good kind of tough, big defenseman. But that's not the issue.
He's just scoring.
On paper, the Leafs defense is set for the next few years.
Yeah.
Right? And if they can rely on their 2 goalies, I think this is just a little blip
Well,
right now.
where's Carlo going when Tanev comes back?
I don't know.
That's true.
Defense?
Yeah, I know that, but like
I would say it's going to be a second line pair.
yeah, man, that means one of Benoit or Myers is probably gone, right?
I would say Myers might be out first, but maybe Benoit. Benoit makes a couple of mistakes a game that can hurt you,
Yeah.
and they both draw a lot or take a lot of penalties.
Back to the thing you were talking about with Tampa, by the way. If we play Tampa in the first round, people should not be underestimating Tampa.
God, never.
Just because like they lost Stamkos or whatever.
Do
No.
not underestimate a John Cooper coach team.
No.
Never.
Especially considering they
And the other thing
they
is,
upgraded with Jake Gensel.
they're playing the Leafs,
Yeah.
right? All you got to do is put a little heat on them,
Yeah.
and they'll wilt like a flower without water.
Now, mind you, and I'm just saying, we do tend to score a lot of goals on Vasilevsky, but that,
Yeah, that's not in the playoffs.
well,
Anyway, doesn't matter if the core doesn't show up in the playoff. Who cares who's in net?
it's true, yeah.
They can play with no goal, and we
This
probably
is more
squeak
about
one
how bad
out.
the Leafs are and not the moves they made. Second move that they made, Scott Laughton from the
Well, anyway, I
Flyers.
like the Carlo one.
Yeah, you like the me too. I like
We didn't give up too much, I don't think, and he could be a first pair defenseman, but definitely second pair, so that's good.
So they got Scott Laughton from the Flyers.
Yeah.
The Leafs got Scott Laughton 50% retained, a 4th round pick in 2025, a 6th round pick in 2026, and the Flyers got Nikita Grabenkin and a conditional 1st round pick in 2027.
Back check paycheck is gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Gone to Philly.
I don't know a lot about Laughton because I don't get to see Philly a lot, but I know his coach Tortorella speaks highly of
Now,
him.
mind you, Scott Laughton wasn't -2 last night, but
Who wasn't?
that's true, yeah.
Like, come on, don't blame that on Laughton.
No, we'll blame it on him, no.
So again, I like that move. We didn't give up a whole lot. They're keeping 50% of his salary, and he has term.
Yeah.
So he'll be a Leaf beyond a rental period. So he may buy into the system. He looked kind of miserable last night too. He
Yeah.
must have been looking around going, "Boy, these guys are bad." Right?
I'm not trying to be this is no offense to any Flyers fans, but are they as bad as Philly?
Who? The Leafs?
Yeah. I don't know if they're Philly bad. Just saying.
I think I'd rather
and
put
Philly's
Leaf,
not that bad.
I think I'd rather put Leaf jerseys on Philadelphia players and cheer for that team. Because I don't have
Like,
any
the
expectations.
Flyers are actually pretty good, but
But I got a captain who can't score, who's supposed to be the best goal scorer in the league.
yeah.
We got Marner doing his 100-point thing, and he's about to disappear. Willie doesn't seem like he wants to play right now. He's just not playing the way he would. The only guy that seems to be trying at the 4 is Tavares.
Yeah.
Like, really gives a crap.
But Riley.
Yeah. Riley's Riley.
Riley.
I don't count him in the core. I know he's been there the longest.
Yeah.
The core 4 is those other 4,
Yeah, because they get double-digit money.
particularly at Matthews and Marner.
Particularly.
Anyway.
The other move that the Leafs made, it's a small one, kind of. Salary dump more so.
I don't think I'm aware of this one.
Connor Dewar and Connor
Oh,
Timmins
yeah. The Connors are gone.
head
eh?
to Kyle Dubas and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
Leafs got a 5th round pick in 2025 for just Connor Dewar and Connor Timmins.
That was a cap space clearing move only,
Send him to Dubas.
and Dubas loves his guys.
He does love
Those
his
are Dubas guys.
Yeah.
Not going to miss them.
No.
They were.
I like Dewar, but Timmins was just...
They weren't impactful. They took a spot in the lineup, and Dewar never really, I don't think, did what he could do.
Yeah.
When we got him from, where did we get him from? Minnesota?
Yeah.
Got him from Minnesota. He had 10 goals that year at
Yeah.
the trade deadline. He scored 1 as a Leaf. I'm pretty sure. 1.
Well,
Well, you got to score more than 1 goal.
that's
You're on
true.
the third
You're
line.
right. You're right.
If you're a third line center, I would hope.
The other move... Now we're on the moves that remain around the league.
Oh, okay. These are the good ones.
These are the good ones. Starting, the Dallas Stars and the Carolina Hurricanes made a move. Mikko Rantanen on his way to Dallas. So Dallas received Mikko Rantanen. He signs a 8-year, $96 million extension with the Dallas Stars for $12 million a year. The Carolina Hurricanes didn't actually do that bad. They got Logan Stankoven, 22-year-old center, who's actually pretty good. A conditional 1st-round pick in 2026, a 3rd-round pick in 2026, a 3rd-round pick in 2027, and a conditional 1st-round pick in 2028.
Yeah, I don't know. Rumor is the Leafs tried to extend Marner and offered him more money than Rantanen and got him at $12 million a year. And he said, "No, I'm not negotiating right now."
Well, the rumor, what I saw anyway, like the rumor is that like the Hurricanes wanted Marner, and the Leafs felt they had to ask him, but he said either he said no or they something like that.
Well, they said they were interested in extending him, but they also have an offer for a trade. Would you consider it? To me, that tells me they want Marner out.
Yeah.
Because if the call came in and said, we're interested in Marner, we'll give you Rantanen for him, right?
I don't believe
you would have said, not a chance. You're not getting Marner. Well, instead they said, hang on 1 second. Mitch, any chance? Oh, okay, bye. No, he's not going to go. But they want to get rid of him.
I don't believe that they want to sign him to an extension. I know they keep saying that, but I just
not for the money he wants.
I don't believe they want to do that.
This is Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
Yeah.
All over again.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Good riddance. What have you done for me lately, ever, Mitch?
Yeah.
You're a wonderful regular season guy, but the playoffs are coming, so I guess the chattering and the shaking starts soon.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm in a terrible mood. It's not good when you start the day shoveling.
It's the Leafs.
I'm so frustrated. I cannot tell you. I'm so frustrated.
Yeah.
This team has never...
Hey, the Blue Jays won a spring training game.
Back in the 93 when they went to LA and that high stick on Gilmore was... They were fun and good. They were a good team that year.
Yeah.
Those couple of years when Gilmore and Sundin and Clark were around. We don't have anything like that now. Nothing. Now, the game's not the same. I get it. But nothing. This team is just going to let us down over and over and over again. And I'm done with the blind faith in this team. So come on, April. One and done, and let's get into golf season.
The one guy I really like, though, on the team is Matthew Nyes.
Yeah.
I really like Matthew Nyes.
I'd love to see Matthew Nyes on a good team.
Yeah, it's true.
Imagine him out in Colorado or something.
Jeez.
He could have some career out with a good team.
The final trade we're going to talk about today.
Oh, I know
the
this
biggest
one.
one.
I'm going to announce it. It was... I'm going to scoop you.
It was Brad Marchand.
This one was shocking.
This was very shocking. Brad Marchand has been traded to the Florida Panthers. That's all the Florida Panthers got was just Brad Marchand. The Bruins got a conditional second-round pick in 2027, and here's the condition. If Marchand plays in 25% or more of Florida's games over the first 2 rounds in the playoffs, the pick becomes a 2028 first-round pick.
Doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is I'm shocked that Boston traded him, not only within the conference,
within the
division. So that tells me it's pretty likely Marchand's going back to Boston.
Because even before it happened, they were talking about he's probably going to get moved, but it's going to be to the West.
Tells me that Marchand is pretty sure he's going to sign with Boston again in the offseason. And Boston doesn't expect to make the playoffs. I was also shocked that Carlo got moved to the Leafs.
Yeah, me too.
In the Division 2. That's kind of unheard of.
I don't know what Boston's doing. I mean, I assume they figure they're just done, but they're Boston. I wouldn't count them out.
Well, I know one thing. If I'm Brad Treliving, I am hot after Marchand in the offseason.
Yeah.
Take everything you got to try to sign him.
Leaf fans aren't going to like that, but you need it.
Oh, you'll love him as soon as he's signed.
Love him.
As soon as he's signed.
I like him.
But we need someone like that to smarten these flowers up that we got wilting now. Oh. You know, flowers are supposed to bloom. Flowers are supposed to bloom in the spring.
I'll make Pasternak.
Our leaf flowers wilt in the spring. That's the problem. We're not using the right fertilizer.
Yeah.
We need someone like a Marchand to come in and just shake things up. But he'll probably go back to Boston. That's my sense. Yeah. So that was a shocking one.
That was huge.
And it kind of hurts as a Leaf fan that he's in Florida with Tkachuk and Bennett. Nasty, nasty team in the playoffs.
Do you really think that the line of Tkachuk, Bennett, and Marchand is going to be stopped?
I don't even know if they're going to be a line, but if they're on 3 different lines, you've got a tough agitator on 3 of your lines. There's no break. Mitch Marner, well, you won't find him. He'll be hidden somewhere under the bench. I don't want to go out, coach. It's too rough out there for me. They're not letting me play with the puck. It's nuts. That's what you need to win.
He did some stupid spinorama last night. It made me so angry.
That's what you need to win. The Leafs don't have that.
They don't. They really don't.
So good for you, Brad Treliving. I'm impressed with you.
But they got Ryan Reeves. No, they don't. He doesn't do anything.
That was not I didn't like that signing anyway, especially for the money.
Yeah.
But Treliving, I think, had a good trade deadline, especially no rentals.
Do they have good defensemen? Sure.
Players with term. Well, but their back end on paper and their goaltending could be good for the next few years. That's fine. Never been the issue, I don't think. The issue is the goals disappear when they need them in the playoffs.
The best defenseman we got is hurt. So.
Yeah, but
in my view,
that's not the issue. If they're not going to score when you need to score, it doesn't matter.
Well, it's funny because this
Doesn't matter.
when you have a team that has a core that's built on scoring.
Go back and look at the times they've been bounced out in the first round and even the second round against Florida, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Look at what happened in games 5, 6, and 7. They dry up. The big boys don't show up. The flowers wilt.
You're right.
So I don't know what the answer is. It's going to happen again. We're going to go through, and if we're a year from now, we're having the same conversation because nothing changed, and they're going to take another run at it. Something got to be done. Something got to be done.
Yeah.
But it was an exciting trade deadline day. They're not usually that exciting,
Not usually.
only because some big names moved within the division,
Yeah.
which is totally shocking.
That was shocking.
But look out for Colorado.
Yeah.
They're finding their mojo. I still question goaltending because they did move, they did move out their goalies from last year, but what they brought in,
I think they actually somehow downgraded in goal.
they're not a whole lot better, and there's not a whole lot out there. But man, that team is
Gorgiev for Blackwood. I don't know
that
about
team
that.
is scary, and they added Coyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coyle and
Brock
Carlo
Nelson.
shared a flight on the way out,
Not to mention
and Brock Nelson
Martin Natchez, who they already had. Like,
and Natchez. They won that deal.
God,
They got Rantanen out and all that money he wanted, and I don't see how Natchez is a downgrade.
it's a much better upgrade.
Rantanen seemed to me that he was money focused and team second.
Yeah.
So, good luck in Dallas. He'll help the team. He had a goal last night in his debut,
He did have a goal.
and I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you, but I'm fed up.
I read something about Rantanen. He was interested in going to the Oilers as well.
But the Leafs are finding ways to win games that they don't deserve to win. Okay, they didn't deserve to win last night, but they didn't find a way to win that one. They got dummied in Vegas. Utah's next. Should be 2 points. Why do I think it's going to be a struggle?
Me too.
Why do I think that?
One more thing we got to talk about.
One more thing?
Mitch Marner. We've already talked about like 5.
Make it quick.
Well, what if I can? This is a report from Chris Johnston of TSN, who says Mitch Marner is more than willing to test the market this offseason. If he uses his leverage, his next contract could exceed Mikko Rantanen's depending on the team. Marner is in his prime and on pace for a 100-point or close to 100-point season. A strong playoff run will only strengthen his value. Yeah. You think that's going to happen? While Rantanen's deal serves as a reference point, Carolina reportedly offered Rantanen over $100 million, more than $12.5 a year for 8 years, but he took less due to tax considerations. If Marner hits free agency, he'll be the top player available with multiple teams bidding. No matter what happens in the coming months, he's in position to land the massive deal.
That was a joke, right? If he has a big playoff, whatever.
Yeah,
And if he doesn't,
a strong playoff will only strengthen his value.
he doesn't know what he's never had one. He never will. This is Mitch Marner we're talking about. He'll get a few points in the first few games, and then he's going to disappear. Mark my words, folks. I wish I were wrong. I'm not.
Mark my words, he's gone.
If it looks like a duck,
It's over.
if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
There's no...
I've never understood that statement, why it applies, but
Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
But there's nothing. There's no upside to this team right now. I mean, you could maybe point to
Don't
one.
take my negativity and have it flood all over you. This is my thing this
Yeah,
morning.
but it's already happened, so
Yeah.
it's fine. Listen, this is it. I mean, I think I've been kind of thinking in my head, maybe we could have a better shot against Tampa, but the more I realize, well, no, Tampa's actually
We don't
better.
have a shot against anyone.
Tampa's actually better than what they were before, and I don't.
If the Leafs somehow won the division or the conference and had to play Montreal, we'd lose that in the first round.
Probably.
Absolutely we would. Because we don't have any game breakers in the playoffs.
The only chance we have against Florida is if Kachuk doesn't play.
The only chance we have against anyone is Stolars or Woll stops everything that comes at them. And we sneak one in somehow and win 1-0 every game. That's the only chance we have.
Remind you of the 2021 Montreal Canadiens? When Carey Price stopped everything and they only scored like 1 or 2 goals a game?
That wasn't Carey Price against the Leafs.
Yeah.
That was, again, the big boys not showing up in games 5, 6, and 7. They were up 3-1 and lost to the Montreal Canadiens.
We're going back in time now.
Yeah. That one hurts. But it doesn't matter who the team is. Leafs can't beat them. No. You can't beat them with this core.
And hey, if it makes anybody feel any better, it makes you feel any better, the Blue Jays won a game yesterday.
I don't think the Leafs would do well in the Calder Cup playoffs. AHL.
I know it's the AHL.
I don't think they would do well against an AHL team.
I think the Marlies would beat the Leafs in the
The
Calder Cup
moments
playoffs.
are too big for these guys. Too big. And Austin Matthews has never stepped up in a big moment. I give you the Four Nations.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Why he was captain of that team still boggles me.
anyway, we are 25 minutes in.
But hey,
Ticked me off so much I almost said a bad word. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm going back to bed.
the Blue Jays won a game yesterday. If that makes you feel any better.
I could give two craps about the Blue Jays right now. Everyone tells me, they won again. It's spring training, folks.
Well, they went 1-1 in a split
Typically,
squad.
teams that do well in spring doesn't
They
translate.
had a split squad game, and they won one, lost one.
Good for the Blue Jays. I'm hoping for a bad start, clean house.
I think
Let's rebuild a team with a new general manager.
Toronto is the worst team for sports right now. The Raptors are horrible. The Leafs are not very good. The Blue Jays are horrible.
Well, the one thing about the Raptors, they're not trying to pull an illusion on
Raptors have been
anybody.
bad for a while.
We all know they're going through a rebuild.
Yeah.
Right? What they're doing with the Blue Jays, nobody knows. And the Leafs are the same old, same old. They're competitive in the regular season, and then when the regular season ends, look out.
But the Leafs do still probably are the better of the three.
Something to watch on a Saturday night, but I kind of wish it was a different team.
Yeah, me too.
I wish Colorado wasn't on the West Coast.
Yeah.
They'd be fun to watch more often.
There's Gramps' team, Colorado.
Yeah, Gramps just goes where any team is winning.
That's true, yeah.
Okay, so anything else now?
No.
You're sure?
Yep.
Because half my day has gone into this.
Uh-huh.
Love of Jeepers. Take it away, my son.
Thank you for listening and watching this episode of 10 Minutes with Andrew. Find us on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment. We'll be back next Sunday with the next episode.
It'll be right after a Leafs loss to Ottawa, I
Probably.
figure. All right, then.
All right.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on notifications to be notified when we upload new content. You can also connect with us at andrewchansey.com.